Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Anmol. Today I want to help you understand how you can use VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP is an extremely powerful Excel formula, right? And it can be used both in Excel and Google Sheet. I'll try to explain it to you with a simple example of where you could use VLOOKUP. As you can see on my screen, there are two data sets. Data set number one, which is orders received, and data set number two, orders not delivered. For your help, I have written some notes here, but you can always refer to them as you may wish. But let's assume that there is a company, an e-commerce company, that receives thousands of orders, right? And these are the orders. These are just some examples. And then they realize that some of these orders are not delivered, as you can see here. So it's difficult to go and find, uh, and they know that which are the ones, which are the orders which are not delivered. The only thing that they know about them is the order ID, right? So it's difficult to go and find within those thousands of orders which are the orders not delivered. Now this is where VLOOKUP comes into picture and it makes this process very easy, right? Because we have one data point about the order that is not delivered. We are going to try and find out all the other necessary details. Let's assume in this case the other necessary details are customer name and order value and we need to fetch those from the orders received. So how you could do that is by using the VLOOKUP formula very easily, right? So if you type VLOOKUP, the first thing that it asks is the search key. The search key is nothing but the data point that you have about, the data point that you have about the thing that you're trying to search for. In this case, we have the order ID, right? So we're going to use order ID as the search key and find out all the other details corresponding to that order ID. The second thing that you have to look up for is the range. So in which range are you searching for this order ID or the key? So I'm going to be searching for this in this range, right? Make sure one thing to always keep in your mind that your search key should always be part of the data that you're looking up to find your answers or your data, your customer name here. And it should be the first column. It should be the starting column, not necessarily the first column. Like it could be your order ID could be here and your customer name could be here, and that will still work. But VLOOKUP always goes from left to right, right? So make sure that wherever you are starting, that's your first column is the search key, right? Then it asks me for the index, right? So index is nothing but from your column, which is the search key column where the search key is, to the column where your actual data point that you're trying to fetch corresponding to that search key, you need to add the count. So in this case, how many columns away is the data point? So it's 1, 2, 3, right? So I'm going to add 3 because I'm looking up the customer name. Customer name is 3 columns after my order ID, right? And then I'm going to add the is sorted. In Excel, it's called match. In this, it's called is sorted. So I'm going to add that. This is nothing but if you enter 0, it means you're looking for an exact match. If you enter 1, you're looking for an approximate match, right? So if you do that and you enter, you see against the order 1001, the customer name is Dan. And if I add that formula here as well, it will show up Alex, right? Now for order value, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to look up this. Now I have 2 data points. So I can search for the order value by looking up the name or the order ID, right? It is not suggested you do this with the name because the same name could exist multiple times, right? So I'm going to do this with order ID because that's unique. I'm going to do that and I'm going to select a range and I'm going to select how many columns out is the order value. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4 columns out, right? And I want an exact match. So you see, I do that and I can copy it here and I'm going to get the information. Now, one thing to keep in mind always is that if you have duplicate values, right? Let's say, for example, which is why I said it's not suggested to do this with customer name, right? This is the note that I mentioned. If you have duplicate values, let's say, for example, I had 1001 here as well. It is still going to stay 2000. It's not going to change to 200, right? Because what VLOOKUP does is it looks up the first value starting from top to down in a vertical order. And as soon as it finds 1001, it returns the first value. So if I change this to 100, right, then you see the value changes to 200 because the first 1001 that it found, corresponding to that, it's 200. If I change this to back 1001, then the value changes, right? So that's how easy it is to learn how to use VLOOKUP. In my next video, I'll try to cover how to use up HLOOKUP, which is horizontal lookup. Hope you found this helpful. Thank you.